Are 25 of 25, God and Me. Some Good Little Boys Go to Heaven by Stukin. October 1963, East Texas. Mr. Joseph Jameson died a few days ago. Sad news. In years, he was a young man, just short of 40, but not a young man in life experiences. He was a good man, at least he tried to be. More than 20 years ago, Mr. Jameson showed up at my church looking for assistance. He had approached a young boy who hung around the church to receive small pay for errands he did for the church. The boy came inside the church and found me checking over the church to ensure it was properly cleaned for Sunday service. I went out front of the church to see what a young white man might want. He was a small fellow, maybe about 12 years old in size. He looked to be 16 or so from his face and demeanor. He told me, "I know a young Negro girl who needs your help. If you come with me, I'll fully reimburse you for your time." My first thought was, where was her family? Why were they not tending to her needs? I was unsure how to respond, but he spoke again before I could speak. "She is with child and she needs help. Can you come with me to see her, please?" I thought to advise him to go to our doctor and ask for his assistance, but my assistance would also probably be necessary. The doctor is only good for a short while, the preacher is good for a lifetime and all after. Is she having the baby now? We have a midwife who attends services here. It would probably be quicker to locate her than try and find our doctor. No, she has not said she is, but she has no one to help her, and she struggles to walk. I do not think she needs a doctor now, but I am not certain. I did not know him by sight, but knew who he was when he gave me his name. His family was prominent. Anyone in the county would have not recognized the name. I had no idea who this Negro girl might have been, but I followed him on a 2 or 3 mile walk to her family's land. I had offered to drive him from my church, but he said he would prefer to share the walk. As soon as we left the paved highway, it came to me who this girl was. We walked side by side down a few dirt roads, with him frequently looking over to me and giving a head nod each time. When we reached the front gate, he pointed over to the house. I stopped and he stopped beside me. He pointed this time to the house and we continued. He opened the gate and I followed. When he reached the shack, he pushed the door open and stood to the side, allowing me to enter first. I stopped in the middle of the room and he walked past me to a shut door. He opened the door and once again stepped aside, allowing me to enter first. She was not happy to see me. I had not seen her in years when word reached me a few months before Mr. Jameson's visit to my church of her grandmother's passing. Her grandmother was a long-time member of my church. She was a member before I even moved into the county. A preacher tells himself the church belongs to him and that he is the church. But the members who stay with the church for years and years own it. They are the ones who breathe life into the church. "Hello, Sister Angie. It has been quite a long time." She nodded her head in response. "This young man tells me you are in need of a bit of assistance." She offered no response. "The ladies of the church will be more than happy to help you through this blessed event. Do you know how close you are?" Her head shake. "Have you seen a doctor?" No response. "We have a midwife in our congregation. She will be more than happy to help you in any way necessary, if I can speak for her." "I will speak with her at once. But you are not in any pain?" A head shake. "If you need anything from me in particular, do not hesitate to ask." A head nod. I knew she could speak, and I took her silence as a sign of general discomfort with the meeting. I bowed my head to her and turned to Mr. Jameson. She will be fine. This is a common business for a church to visit and tend to those who need a bit of assistance. Yes. Thank you, Reverend. He offered me his hand to shake, and on my way out we shook. I went back several days later. A couple of the ladies from the church had been out to see Sister Angie, and while she was not particularly agreeable, they were able to work out a workable relationship. She made it clear from the beginning that she had no interest in talking or engaging in any of the social niceties. She was angry, that was clear. Maybe that she was embarrassed as well. I could not deny her right to both without knowing the specifics of her situation. I knocked on the door, opened it, and went inside. I went straight to the bedroom. Sister Angie had been unable to get to her feet, so I knew where and how I would find her. Morning, Sister Angie. Morning, Reverend. How are you feeling? Any pain? No pain if I lie still. Is there anything you would like to talk about? No. I thought you might not have felt comfortable talking to me the other day. I am here as a man of God, offering whatever services you need. I don't need a preacher. That is fine. Just understand that I am here if you should need someone to talk to. You understand that when you talk to a man of God, there is no embarrassment. There can be a release of anger. You are talking to a friend who will never betray your confidence. I can offer counsel or I can just listen quietly. I went back a few days later. Sister Angie, I'm not your sister. Just the politeness we use. Angie would be more polite. Okay, Angie. Something you want to say to me, Reverend? I thought maybe that was something you might want to say to me. Something we might need to be alone for you to say. What are you asking, Reverend? I am trying to help you find your way back to our church. What has passed has passed. What will happen from here is in your hands. Nothing is in my hands, or at least it doesn't seem so. Just understand, Angie, you do not have to be alone unless you choose to be. I'm not alone by choice. I was sorry to hear about your grandmother. She was a good woman and a faithful worshiper. She nodded. It was not necessary for you to have a church funeral, but I hope you will grant me the permission to say a few words over her grave, if not for her sake, then allow it for mine. She nodded. I knew her health was declining, and I assumed that was why she stopped attending service. We missed her, and you too, Angie. Yes, she missed her. She missed the church as well. She wished you had come by to see her. She couldn't come to the church anymore. Her vision had left her. She couldn't walk well. She fell. I stood watching her struggle to get back to her feet. I went to her and placed both my hands on one of her arms. Give me a minute, sweet, she said. After she regained her feet, she wasn't the same. I didn't see her as being the same. I saw how weak she had gotten. She pointed me to the bedroom, to this room, where we are now, and I helped her slowly walk. She fell into the bed, and I helped her into a sleeping position. I got into bed beside her, and we slept. My grandma slept, and I lay with her. I was up that night. My grandma slept through. I went outside to look at the darkness. Darkness has always been calming to me. It never frightened me like it does some. I started walking, just following the darkness. I followed the darkness to the river. The moon was high and it had cast a spell upon the water. The water danced at the moon's every request. I waded into the water fully clothed. I gained my senses to find myself waist deep in water. I turned to the bank and slowly walked out of the water. I walked home, probably still dripping water half the way. I took off every bit of clothing before entering the house, dropping the dress, the slip, and the rest on the front porch. I went into the room where my grandma still slept and got into bed with her with nothing on. Woke before the sun the next morning, quickly got dressed while my grandma still slept. I should have been told, I wanted to say. You should have told someone at our church about your grandmother's health problems, I wanted to say. We could have We take care of our own. I wished I could have said. I said none of this. I was embarrassed to realize I'd never been to see her grandmother, even after I had noticed her grandmother's absence. I did notice. She had a large personality that was impossible to miss. I do not know why no one from the church went by to see either of them. I guess we kept expecting them to show up the next Sunday. Word never was never sent that Angie's grandmother was gravely ill. If I knew, we have always gone to see our homebound parishioners. We have always taken care of them. It would have been no inconvenience for me to go by. We had whatever they might have needed to share, but I never went by. I thought it best we end the conversation here. Your grandma is back on her feet and at peace now, Angie. I pray that is right. A few days later, hello, Angie. Reverend, you don't need to come by to see me. I'm out during the week visiting homebound parishioners. It only takes a few minutes to check on you. Is there anyone else coming by to see you? Anyone other than the ladies from the church? You mean that boy? He comes by. He's trying to meet his responsibility. He doesn't owe me or this baby. I do not understand. It's not his baby. I do not understand. Please don't say that again. Can I ask, why is he helping you? He's trying to do what he thinks is right. He came to me asking for help for you. If this is not his child, how is he doing what he thinks is right? What business is this of his? What business is this of yours, Reverend? I was asked to take this as my business, not by me. Still, you obviously need help, and it is his business to help. It is my business to help any and all who need help if they are willing to let themselves be helped. I can't get to my feet. I want this baby to live. You can help me if you want, or not if you want not. But talk is of no help to me. She was angry. I never saw her not angry that I can remember. Even back when her grandmother brought her into the services, she always seemed to have a scowl on her face. Some preachers might have taken exception to her harsh manner, but I've known too many people who were angry, who had earned their anger. I tried to listen to her words without her anger. She needed help, and it has always given me some sense of pride, some sense of calm to be able to provide help when it is needed. A few days later, she sighed when she saw me. I smiled in real amazement. Angie, I have to ask you a question. She offered no response. Whose baby is this? I mean, who is the father? Does he know? Maybe he would be willing to provide you with help of some sort. It's nobody's baby but God and mine. What does that mean? God sent the big boy. Have you told that big boy about his child? Why are you asking all this? I'm trying to make sure you have thought this entire thing through. You are so young. Young people are not always aware of all the options they have. Even if he did not want to hear of your situation, nothing would be risked or lost by telling him. He can be told discreetly if he is married, but he should be told. He's dead, Reverend. I'm sorry. Sorry for who? For me? Don't be sorry. I wanted him dead. I killed him. You killed him? Yes. You killed him? Me and the little boy. Little boy? The big boy's brother. I didn't know they were brothers. I didn't know them boys. The little boy helped you kill the big boy, and the big boy is the father of your child? Yes. Can you give them names other than little boy and big boy? Little boy is Joseph Jameson. She nodded. Big boy is his brother who died a few months ago. She nodded. I had heard of John Jameson's, the big boy's death, but I hadn't heard the circumstances. There was no one I could ask about how he died or where he died. I came to accept Angie's version of what happened. Can you tell me what happened? I just told you. No, I mean, why? Where? What happened? Reverend, I'm sorry if my curiosity is getting the better of me, but this is no small thing. If you want to stop coming by, fine. No, that is not what I am saying. I think we need to put the matter to rest between the two of us. It is not at rest now. I spend my waking hours trying to think about what happened, and my sleeping hours dreaming of nothing else. Okay, Angie, I thought maybe if you share what happened, it might help you deal with what happened, help you decide what to do. What to do? Have you or Joseph Jameson told anyone? I haven't. This kind of secret will eat away at your soul. You need to make your peace with God. You need to make your peace with man. God, man. What? I know no peace. Not with God, not with man. Talking won't bring me peace. Where did it happen? The river. I started going down to the river in the middle of the night. Why the middle of the night? It was peaceful. My grandmother would be sleeping. God would talk to me through the water. No, not really talk to me, but he'd give me peace, at least for a short while. It would be just God and me there. My soul wait thou upon God, for my expectation is from him. Psalm 62:5. I know the verse, Angie. John Jameson met you at the river? She nodded. We can stop, Angie. I think I can guess enough of the rest. I was in knee deep talking to the moon, and I turned to the shore. He was standing there. He wasn't moving, but I knew to be afraid just the way he was standing. The moon didn't provide enough light to see what he was doing. I could see him just standing there. It seemed I stood still in the water for an hour. He stood still on the bank looking at me. I ran upriver, splashing water mostly, not putting any distance between him and me. I ran to the bank and never looked back to see where he was. I reached the bank and jumped out of the water and started to run into the woods. I didn't make it. I soon found myself face down on the grass. I heard my dress being ripped. I lay on the grass crying. He was laughing. I heard him laughing. I was crying and he was laughing. Then I no longer heard his laugh. I opened my eyes and I was alone. I looked all around me and I was alone. I was still crying. I got to my hands and knees and I was still crying. My dress was more rags than dress, and I did what I could to cover myself. I reached my grandma's shack, went inside, and removed what I had on. I lay on the floor outside the room where my grandma was sleeping. You killed a big boy? Yes. He was dead when you left the river. You didn't say how he was killed. He didn't die that night. You went back another night? I went back again, and I went back again. Are you saying you went back twice? I kept going to the river. He came back once and then again. I wouldn't know him if he walked into the room this minute. I never saw his face. I never looked at him. With only the moon to light, I couldn't see his face if I had tried. But he was laughing, and I gave him the face of a boy laughing in my mind. Just a wrinkled brow, a mouth upturned at the corners, and flesh-tearing teeth. He came back twice while you were there. Are you saying he bit you? Yes, twice. No, he didn't bite me. And the second time he came back, he died. What are you saying about his teeth? Yes, he died. I picture him having a wolf's teeth. We can stop now if this is too difficult for you. What I meant was it was almost too difficult for me. The speech was difficult to understand. My head was almost spinning. I couldn't give up what God had given me at the river, so I kept going back. After the first time, I stopped going into the water, but I kept going back. I heard rustling in the woods, and I looked and saw him. He left the woods and slowly walked toward me. I just sat there on the grass. I couldn't let him take away what God and I had. I had decided to make my stand, but I just sat there. He left. He never said anything this time. He didn't laugh. I lay on the ground crying, and I opened my eyes and I looked around me, and I found that I was alone. I raised both hands to cover my face, and I found that in one of my hands there was a rock. God had placed a rock in my hand. God didn't place a rock in your hand, Angie. You were probably grasping and found the rock lying nearby, grabbed hold of it. But I hadn't noticed the rock God had given me, and it was of no use to me then. I dropped it. I don't know why I had to keep going back, but I had to. It never entered my head to kill that boy, but I wanted him to let me be. I wanted him to stop living. Those are the same things. You wanted him to stop living, and you took it into your hands to make him stop living. I didn't know him. A month before, he didn't exist to me. I wanted to go back a month before, but I couldn't force time to just go back. The present and the future are in your hands. You must look to the future and undo or lessen what has happened in the past. That's what I did. I changed the future. Yes, unfortunately, and the night the big boy died, I kept going back. I started going in the water again. I started going in the water with no clothes on. I don't know why, but I felt. I don't know. I did what I was told to do by God or by the moon or by whoever else was watching. I was told to strip off my clothes and bathe myself in the water. I did. He came back. I finished my talk with the moon and I turned to the bank. He was standing there. I waded upriver a small ways and started to run to the bank. My hair was grabbed from behind and I found myself on the grass. I found my rock in the grass, the rock God had given me. I turned on my side and kicked at the big boy. He laughed and jumped on top of me. He was heavy. I couldn't move him off me. I didn't cry. I was lying on the grass trying to catch my breath. He said something. I don't know what he said. I found my way to my knees. He was lying on the grass with his eyes closed. I crawled over him and I knelt above him. I raised the rock in both my hands and brought it down across his head. I raised it again and was about to bring it down again, but I heard this whining like a dog. I dropped the rock and ran into the bush. I fell to my stomach and lay there. The whining got louder as the dog got closer. Then it quieted a bit, and I could tell it was a boy crying. I stuck my head up and saw him kneeling over the big boy. He was whimpering steady still. He raised the big boy to a sitting position. He lifted the big boy and started dragging him backward toward the river. I stood up and he looked over and saw me. I didn't know what was in his mind or what he was planning to do. The little boy dragged the big boy into the river. The boy was turned over and the little boy climbed on top of him. The big boy's feet started kicking and the little boy nearly fell off. I ran into the water and grabbed the big boy. His strength didn't match his size, and the little boy and me were able to hold him under. He stopped struggling, and we let go of his body. The little boy was still whining. I punched him in the chest and told him to shut up, and he shut up. I didn't say anything else to the little boy. I got out of the water and put my dress on and ran home. Why do you keep calling them boys? Because they was boys. Boys doing men folk things. Boy folks can be as mean as men folk. Yes. I never dreamed a colored girl could get away with killing a white boy, but if a colored girl did dare to dream, that's probably what she'd dream about. I took my place on the porch in my grandma's rocking chair. I waited. I waited through sunrise, through the sun peak, through the sunset, and I still waited. I waited for someone to come for me, but no one came. I went back down to the river after a day had passed. All I found there was that crying boy, the one who brought you here, but he wasn't crying still. That would be a sad thing for colored girls to dream about. You know that isn't true. I'm owed my anger. Your anger is specific. You're angry at a specific person about a specific thing. Most colored girls don't have that specific anger. I know. You're entitled to your anger, but you've earned your guilt. Guilt for what happened to me? No, guilt for what you have done. I have no guilt. Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath dealt bountifully with thee. Psalms 116:7. It angered me to hear her twisting the words she had memorized from the Bible, but I tried to bury my anger. You said you were sitting, waiting for them to come for you. You knew you were guilty. In their eyes, maybe, but in my eyes, I am not guilty. Their eyes did not see. If their eyes had seen, I do not need to tell you what you have done, Angie. And what have you done, Reverend? Read from a Bible? And are you going to pray for me, Reverend? Pray for my soul? Will your prayers take from me what I am feeling, Reverend? Will your prayers stop me from waking soaked in tears I've cried, Reverend? Will you pray for me, Reverend? I knelt beside her and reached out and took her hand in mine, bowed my head to her hands, but I didn't pray. No prayer came to mind. I held our hands to my forehead, hoping the words would come to me, but none did. Did the little boy watch what his brother did to you? I don't know. I don't think so. I told him later I was with child, and he got angry with me. Why was he angry with you? I don't know. I told him, and he started yelling at me. I don't know what he saw, what he knows. I don't know what he thinks. I can't talk to him. Maybe if you try to tell him again. No, please don't come by again, Reverend. Talking never did me any good. Talking doesn't end things, it makes them last longer. Please don't come by again. A few weeks later, her son was born. She named him Joey, not Joseph, just Joey. More than a decade passed. I had put Angie and Joseph Jameson out of my mind. Mr. Jameson showed at my church just as he had earlier. I stepped out front to see who was asking for me. I was not happy to see him. He reached out his hand for me to shake. Been quite a while, Reverend. Yes, sir. It must have been 10, 12 years at least. Closer to 14 by my count. I nodded. Angie's asked me to stop coming by her shack. Her health seems to be declining. She's losing weight. She seems tired all the time. Her spirit is low. I wouldn't ask anything of you, but asking nothing of you would seem a greater sin. He held out two envelopes. I took them and saw there was a name on each. Angie on one, Reverend Jenkins on the other. I opened the one with my name on it. Inside there was money. I returned the envelope to him. It's not for you, Reverend. It's for your church. Please put it in the donation basket. Even though you might not want it, you can't refuse a donation for your church, can you? I'll deliver the envelope to Angie, but you don't need to make a donation to my church. I believe in the church. I believe in the work the church does. Surely you have parishioners who are in need. Can you reject the donation for them? Take it, please, Reverend. Once a month for 2 years, he showed up at my church with two envelopes. Angie died. He continued to show up monthly with one envelope in hand. He won't show up again. For that, I am embarrassed to say I am glad. I think I can feel sad for his death, sad for his life, maybe, and still be happy never to see him again. I feel embarrassed and guilty for my part in all of this. But that embarrassment and guilt, I guess, are matters just between God and me. That's it. 25 or 25. The Little Boys Go to Heaven by Stukin, available on Amazon.